We adore you, O Lord, and we bless you for my cross you redeemed the world. With these words, we Catholics remember and reflect upon the stations of the cross each Lent. But if you're like me, when Lent is completed, you put away your piety for the cross for another year. According to my calculations, it's been almost 6 months since Lent has been completed. And the Church gives us this celebration today to remind us that we need to look upon the cross, to remind ourselves of how we are to live our lives as Christians, not just during those 40 days of Lent, but through the entirety of our life. Before I get too deep into the theology of the cross, however, let's look and see how we as a religion came to venerate the cross that Christ suffered upon. If you think about it, we're looking at a device that was built and meant to kill people. So how is it that I'm supposed to look at this symbol as a Christian and learn how to live my life? Why don't we start all of our religious services by tracing the symbol over our body? The answer is found in the second half of the gospel that we just heard. It's probably the most famous Bible verse that people are familiar with. If you've ever been to a football game, you've probably seen it painted on a banner. You may have seen it painted on a crazy man's chest in 30-degree weather, bare chest wearing a rainbow wig. It's John 3:16. God so loved the world that he gave his only Son, so that all that believe in him may not perish, but have eternal life. It is this fact that causes us to look at the cross and see our sign of salvation. Without the love that is God, none of us would have a chance for eternal life. But the story of the cross has a much deeper history and a rich history that I'd like to share with you for just a few moments. According to tradition, early in the 4th century, St. Helena, who is the mother of the Roman Emperor Constantine, went to Jerusalem on a quest to find the important places in Jesus' life. During her search, she excavated a 2nd century temple to the goddess Aphrodite, which was built directly over the tomb of Jesus Christ. Legend has it that they found 3 crosses there, and the one that Jesus had died upon was identified by the fact that a woman who was dying walked in, touched the wood of the cross, and was miraculously healed of her disease. That cross immediately became an object of veneration from the people all over the world. It was kept safely locked away in a temple and an ornate shrine, and once a year, on Good Friday, it was removed from its silver box, placed out on a table for people to venerate and to look upon. That all went on until the year 614. Jerusalem was conquered, and the cross was carried off to Persia. 15 years after the cross was taken from Jerusalem, the Byzantine Emperor Hercules recovered the cross, and he was determined to carry that cross back into Jerusalem. So as he's approaching Jerusalem, he orders the cross be removed, put on his shoulder, he's on horseback, and the horse can't move, and he can't move. So he gets off of his horse, and he's trying to carry it in, and the cross is too heavy. The story goes on to say that until he took off his royal crown, his beautiful clothes, and became nothing more than a simple barefoot peasant, he wasn't able to move the cross into Jerusalem. That story has a very powerful message for us 21st century Christians. The true cross of Christ is more than just a piece of wood. It is a sign and symbol of unconditional love and healing. As disciples of Jesus, we're called to carry and exalt the cross by bringing love and healing into our world. But we can't do that until we do what Emperor Hercules did. We must take off our imperial garb and become a simple, humble servant. Now, our garb might be our self-centeredness, our ego, our anger, negativity, prejudice towards others. To put it simply, we've heard this philosophy said many ways in Christian theology. We've heard that we must die to ourselves. We must hate your mother and father to be a follower of Christ. The main reason is a proclaimed Christian and baptized. We have to stop living for ourselves. We have to start living for our community. Imagine, if you would, if we're busy taking care of only our own concerns, holding them in our hands, how could we possibly take up the cross that Christ offered us as his followers? To truly exalt the cross of Christ, we must live as Jesus has taught us, with unconditional love and forgiveness and inclusion for everyone, and not just the people that we like, but the least in society, and the most disliked of our fellow human beings. That kind of true exaltation of the cross will bring healing into our world, even more than keeping it locked away in its precious silver box. On this feast day of the cross, and every day of your life as a Christian, let us continue to truly exalt the Christ by living our life as Christ has taught us. The question now becomes, how can we take the symbol of the cross back to our homes, back to our daily lives, and do that? I challenge you to go home this week and examine your own royal guard, the things that you hold precious, that keep you from carrying the cross of Christ, and decide what it is that you need to take off to become a simple servant of Christ, so you can exalt the cross of Christ in your daily life.